To beard or not to beard? Scientists reveal a surprising reason why men including Brad Pitt, Prince William, and even Boris Johnson look better with facial hair. If you've been contemplating shaving your stubble, experts say it's time to put the razor down. From Brad Pitt to Prince William and Boris Johnson, many men look a lot better with a beard. However, scientific evidence shows that this isn't just a matter of personal taste. According to scientists, there is an evolutionary explanation for the beard glow up. Facial hair is what scientists call a secondary sexual characteristic, which means that it is one of the characteristics which distinguishes males and females of the species. Just like the exaggerated antlers on a stag or the red behind of a baboon, human facial hair might have evolved to help men get more mates. In our distant past, a bushy beard might have helped men signal their strength to potential mates. And some scientists believe that the exact same process might still be at work today. While the results can vary from person to person, the general rule is that facial hair improves men's appeal to the opposite sex. Dr. Peck says, on average, with big individual and cultural variation, beards tend to increase attractiveness. In one 2014 study, 1,453 women were shown pictures of men who had volunteered to grow out their facial hair from clean-shaven to full beards. Overall, the women rated all types of beards, including light stubble, heavy stubble, and full beards, more attractive than clean-shaven. Before you throw away the beard trimmer for good, it's worth noting that beards don't have a uniform effect on how men are perceived. Different types of beards subtly change the way women see men. Previous research has shown that full beards make men appear more aggressive, mature, and stronger than clean-shaven men.by contrast. Dr. Peck's research has found that lighter beards have a strikingly different impact. Heavy stubble, for example, scored highest for attractiveness, while a clean-shaven look made men seem more approachable. The effects can also differ slightly based on your age and underlying facial shape. Beards typically accentuate male typical facial structure, which pushes judgments toward older, more dominant, or higher status, says Dr. Peck. That suggests that their benefit will tend to be concentrated among younger males. So, depending on the type of impression you are trying to give off, you may need to change your beard accordingly. Full beards often boost ratings tied to long-term partnering, such as maturity and parenting ability. So for fatherly types such as Boris Johnson and Prince William, this might be the best beard to go for. But for someone like Ryan Gosling or Tom Hardy, who may simply want to be attractive and approachable, a light or heavy face of stubble will be best. Why do humans have beards? In both animals and humans, traits like beards evolve because successive generations of individuals with them survive long enough to pass on their genes. For characteristics like humans' big brains or the thick fur of a polar bear, those traits can get passed on because they help the organism survive. However, beyond trapping food, cultivating germs, and harboring lice, beards essentially do nothing for the men that have them. While some studies have shown that beards can keep men's faces warm or even cushion incoming blows, this is certainly not why they evolved. Instead, Dr. Wesley Peck of Seton Hall University says that beards likely evolved due to sexual selection. That means, instead of helping men survive, beards evolved because they help men find a mate. Essentially, the existence of human beards comes down to the fact that men with beards were more successful at finding partners than their beardless counterparts. Why are women attracted to beards? Even if beards evolved because women are attracted to them, that doesn't explain why women will be attracted to beards in the first place. According to scientists, the reason isn't necessarily about how beards look to women, but about the signal that the beard sends out to other men. In one study, researchers from the University of Northumbria asked 20 men to record themselves at 4 different stages of growing out their beards. When women reviewed the different recordings, the beards didn't universally improve attractiveness, but they did increase how dominant the men were rated to be. Likewise, researchers at the University of Queensland have found that beards significantly increase perceived aggression in men. Men making aggressive facial expressions were rated as more aggressive when they had beards. Likewise, beards increase the speed and accuracy with which men and women recognize displays of anger, but not displays of happiness. Essentially, there are 2 ways in which beards could have evolved through sexual selection. Either it is through intersexual signaling, in which beards advertise sexual maturity and masculine traits of potential partners, or it is through intrasexual signaling, which means they function as an aggressive display to ward off other men. Since beards appear to promote perceptions of dominance and speed up recognition of anger, scientists now generally think that the latter scenario is the case. That means a beard is more like the oversized claw of a male fiddler crab than the majestic plumage of a peacock. What is the best time to grow a beard? Interestingly, understanding what kind of signal a beard has evolved to show can also explain why beard fashions tend to ebb and flow so rapidly in crowded cities, or at times when there is a greater proportion of single men, the number of beards tend to increase as men fight to stand out. In one study of facial hair fashions between 1842 and 1971, conducted by the appropriately named Nigel Barber, the popularity of beards and mustaches was found to peak when there were fewer women in the marriage market. At the same time, research has shown that the attractiveness-boosting effects of facial hair fall off when more people sport stubble. In fact, one study conducted by researchers at the University of New South Wales found that the rarer beards are, the bigger women like those beards to be. When women were first shown a group of men where beards were rare, they rated full beards and heavy stubble as more attractive in subsequent groups. Dr. Peck says, signals carry more information when few others display them. In nature, some variations become evolutionarily successful precisely because they are rare. For example, guppies with rare color patterns are more successful at finding mates. This produces more guppies with that pattern until the coloration ceases to be rare, and the evolutionary pendulum starts to swing back another way. Some scientists believe this may be the same reason that the number of beards tends to rapidly increase towards peak beard before quickly falling away again. When almost everyone is clean-shaven, a beard may communicate more about status, maturity, or identity than when beards are widespread, says Dr. Peck. The same logic applies to conspicuous consumption. If a Mercedes is used to signal wealth, the more people who own a Mercedes, the weaker that signal becomes. So if you are thinking of growing a beard, the best time to do it is before anyone else gets the same idea.